a dick pic?
Not.
You ever received one?
I have.
Oh. From who? Wait. Was it?
What?
Did you ask for it, or was it unsolicited?
No. It was an unsolicited one. I blame alcohol, poor judgment on not my bachelor party, because you were on that bachelor party, but someone else's, and it was promptly deleted, and I never really liked that person again.
Yeah, So,
am I in the majority here? People have.
yes. So
most people have received unsolicited dick pics?
Most dick pics are unsolicited.
Really?
Yes.
Shocking.
Yes.
You mean people don't want that? Like, going up their data plan and, like, you know.
They don't want it.
Really?
But guys continue to send them.
Wow. Guys continue to do a lot of things.
Why do they continue to do it?
A power thing? Are we gonna get like you know,
So like
deep here? Because like every time I show someone my penis, I've won the argument. I think it's probably the underlining like rationale for that, right? Like, haha, I did it. You know what I mean, right? Right? Like,
what do you mean?
like there's no comeback to that. There's no comeback. Like what? Like what's the comeback to that? You do it because you know it's gonna make someone awkward.
Okay.
Right? Like, okay, maybe heterosexual male to heterosexual male is the context I'm framing this in.
Yeah. So that's the right.
Which is probably not the most common.
Not the most common.
Probably not the most common. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, the most common, just by like crunching the numbers, is probably like guys, heterosexual men sending it to heterosexual women.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily assume that the sexuality at that point's relevant. But yes, I see what you're saying.
Right. Well, I think
straight men.
I think in the
women.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm talking about this in that context. I'm not gay guys sending dick pics to one another. That's a totally different thing. Totally different.
I seem to remember a furniture website that Elwood showed me once. Anyways, go on.
So, yeah. So straight men, generally in sort of a trying to start a courtship with a young lady.
Is that the term you're going to choose to use to represent what that is? Courtship?
And then they will.
I think you're mistaking courtship for bang sesh. Is that maybe what you're more going for?
Okay.
Like a peacock spreading its feathers, like to get attention. I mean, and again,
it's a ritual.
And getting that will get people to, like, I don't care who you are.
Okay.
You'll notice that you received a message.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's not but it doesn't seem to be, like, from what I can tell, like, not super effective. So a lot of the time.
Has it ever been effective?
Well,
can you verify the effectiveness?
I guess it would. Okay, look. I think that's one of the reasons people might do it, because maybe it's effective 1 in 100 times.
So if I send out 100 pictures of my dick, one of those times it may lead to a date. There has to be more effective, like, just even on a numbers game, like, would you like to go on a date with me has to be more successful than 1 in 100.
Probably.
Otherwise, no one would ever be dating. Maybe.
Well, that's okay. So why? It's very common. So why go down this road? Why take a picture of your dick and send it? So
I know it's a rhetorical question. I know I don't have the answer.
I assume so. At first, I was like, I assumed the motivation was to to get sex, right? Like that was the motivation.
But that can't be.
But like you pointed out, you could just ask 100 girls to go on a date, and maybe be a bit more like. Maybe it's like you just want the sex and you don't want the date part, and so maybe it's more effective in that sense.
Or realistically speaking, you could probably go on like 6 dates with like 2 different people over a process of 3 months, and I mean it would probably work out for you much sooner and faster and better. Right.
So then that's making sense.
Well, it's easy. It's super easy.
Why go down this?
It's very easy. It's not hard. It takes no risk. There's no rejection.
Well, the rejection happens when there's nothing at stake. Like,
which was the only situation I could see anyone ever doing this in, because if they actually valued the relationship, I mean, because as in and of itself, it's kind of a bold act. So we could at least call it that. That it is something that I would say, not necessarily brave, not necessarily like appropriate ever, but it's bold in the sense that like you've exposed your vulnerability. Like you know what I mean, right? Like you've societally, you cover that stuff up, right?
Yeah.
And now I've revealed myself,
right,
in a way that probably the other person doesn't want.
Right.
So it's flashing.
So yes,
it's like the digital equivalent of doing that.
Right. So
but that isn't celebrated or successful.
Right. So that's a degree of like exhibitionism. Fair enough, but I can't imagine that accounts, like that can only account for a small percentage of the motivation.
No, I think it accounts for it fully. I think what we just found is that
I'm going
to say like 95% of men have that tendency in them. And I'm going to say that probably of those 95% of men that have that tendency, probably not very many act on it. But I think it's easier to act on, so you see it spike up. Like, I know you, like, there is, being a guy, you are naturally fighting off impulses constantly that's somewhat hormonally driven, especially with the teens and on the teen. It's tough times, right? But like, you just kind of learn not to be an asshole, and you just kind of like relegate, like
you get socialized.
Yeah, you socialize yourself to the point where you're not like assaulting people constantly, right? But if it's super easy to just like, I got right here, I finished my homework, right? We're going to take this argument.
But then we're back to like the weird lineup of motivation. But part of the reason you like socialize your impulses and make them channel them in a more like productive way is still sort of to get the same like.
It's like attention. Attention. Period. There's no good, bad. I want to be noticed, and this will make it. I mean, there's, like you will be noticed. Probably not well. But you've impacted that person. Like you cannot detract from that.
You're on Tinder. You've connected with this person. You started texting them. You might even be in the process of like, kind of tentatively setting up like a real life meet, and then you send a dick pic. Like, what is the?
Well, I mean, okay, so part of that could be the fact that guys just assume women have the same kind of sexualization.
Yeah, that is part of it.
I would love a boob pic.
I would like a
maybe if I
vagina
send this pic, I'll get a pic.
Yeah.
Right. I'll be the generous one. I'll go first. It's a gift.
It's like a cat brings you a dead bird.
Oh yeah.
Right.
That's what it is.
Like the cat doesn't get.
I don't.
I'm a human. I don't want this dead bird.
Dead birds.
It's like the guy is like genuinely. So it's kind of sweet.
I mean, yeah. With the proper framing, I see your point, I guess. I still think that the overall...
But you should know it's not sweet.
No, you should. Like, you should. But
because you're not a cat.
But how many people are really not cats, Joe? I mean, how many people are really...
Are not just a house cat.
Exactly. I mean... 1 in 6 aren't? I'm just saying. Like, I would say that most people probably don't have a very clear introspection into what they do at all times.
And the outcome.
Right? Like,
That's
you
true.
kind of just act, and you kind of hope what you do isn't going to screw up your life.